Should I say hi? Like,
no, just say my name. Start with my name, yeah.
My name's Cole Irvin. I'm 23 years old. I live in Georgia. I live in a house with two of my good friends. I have a dog and a beautiful girlfriend. My life's pretty cool. And most people probably know me as Proximitty. So that's that.
Proximitty is the third man in, and he's going to get a full grab there, so it's going to be fourth.
I am a full-time gamer, YouTuber, and streamer. My best competitive memory is actually, it is from a tournament. We've been practicing, I'd been on the squad, we've been practicing for like 2 months leading up to this tournament, and about 4 days before the event, our fourth player kind of just dropped it on us. He's like, I'm not gonna be able to go. So we had a coach who basically is just somebody that keeps you guys organized. He stays behind you as you're playing and calls out. And he played the game too. He's actually one of my roommates. We asked him to play for us as our fourth fill-in, and we probably got 2 or 3 hours of practice with him as our fourth player before the event. We had to drive like 10 hours to St. Louis, go to this event. We're just gonna go out there and get destroyed. And it actually turned into my best placing at a tournament with that squad. It's just a group of guys that I really like playing with, and it was fun. So I think like that whole weekend is when we were driving up, we're joking about how we're just gonna go up there and lose, and then we ended up placing really well, playing super well. It was fun. And actually that day of the tournament, there was like an 11.5-hour gap where we weren't able to eat because we were just waiting for our next matches, but we kept winning and then we just couldn't eat, and all that painful stuff, but like it makes the memories good, I think. It was fun. Streaming is basically where you kind of live stream your footage of you playing the game online and people can tune in and watch from home. I really enjoy streaming. I love, like, I can play and then people can ask me questions, and sometimes I'm really focused and trying my best and I'm not looking at the chat, but other times people are just asking me questions and getting to know me better, and they can ask me ways that they want to try to improve and I can help them work through those problems. It's a really cool experience. Other times people are total assholes and it's not fun. Just for an example, I decided I wanted to grow my hair out, and you can see probably some of the B-roll footage that Caitlin has here that my hair was shorter. That was literally a year ago, and I just decided to let it grow because I wanted to. But I mean, just in my comments, there's been people that have campaigned on every single video, cut your hair, cut your hair, cut your hair. Sometimes it's really stressful. When you have hundreds of people watching you play and they're constantly, it's like a term, backseat gaming, where they watch you, and if you mess up, you might know you messed up, but then all of your chat is gonna remind you that you just messed up. The first thing they're gonna do is you could have played this better, and it's not fun sometimes, but it's something you just gotta work through, and it's part of the job, and I'm super happy that I have the opportunity to do it. It's not easy to come by. A lot of people would kill for it, so it's great. I also sell merch, which helps with my income. Dude, somebody was in Rhode Island the other day and saw somebody, he was wearing one of my shirts, and another person came up and was like, have you heard of Proximitty? Like, he recognized the logo and was like, does he even know like what he's wearing? And the guy was like, yeah, I'm wearing his merch. And then there was an event in Denver last weekend that I was unable to go to, sadly. And people were sending me pictures of people at the event wearing my merch. Like, it was the coolest thing. It was surreal, man. I think being in that position, kind of like, when I first started playing, I looked up to so many people and thought like it was the coolest thing to be known. And basically any game I play online now, people recognize me. So like that's the craziest thing about all of this, is that I used to be just another player, and now like people recognize me as like a member, like a face of the community. And when some people think of Halo, they think of me. And I think that's like the craziest thing. When you're a kid and you learn that you can play, you can play a sport for a living, that sounds awesome, and every kid of course wants to do that, like, but you look at the professional athletes and what sets them apart, the extra hours they put in, the extra time they work on their craft. It's very much the same thing, and I learned this lesson way later than I needed to. I started making videos on YouTube in 2010, and I started making videos a long time before that. Like my good friend Jesse and I, we grew up together, and we would literally make plans to hang out to shoot videos on like his dad's little camera, and we never would show them to anybody. It was just because we liked making videos, and I think just that kind of drove me to continue to work on that. That's just one side of it. Then there's the actual being good at a game, enough to compete at a high level. But with anything, it just takes time. You have to. It's not gonna come in a week. It's not gonna come in a day. You have to put in the time and just keep pushing yourself, because you can really get there. I think anybody has the ability if they want to put their mind to it. Like for me, I was not naturally talented at first-person shooters, which is like what my whole career is based off of right now. I put a lot of work into that, and I wanted to be good with anything. I think just like if you wanted to be a professional athlete, anything you want to do, if you want to be a doctor, go to school, make the good grades. Whatever it is, the parallel between like if it's making good grades or working out and, you know, going out and throwing a baseball 1,000 times if you want to be a pitcher, you know, whatever it is, just put in the work and, you know, have like, I always, growing up, I heard people say you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I never really thought about what that really meant until I was probably already 21. And then I was like, oh, I get it. If you obsess about something and just like put all your effort into it possible, you can really make it out of something. You gonna help me get this multi-kill? Oh my gosh, yes, oh my god. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ah! I can't play with all that going on, man. Dude, you're literally jumping on my arms, man. I'm never gonna get in air like this, dog. I'm gonna miss it, it's gonna be your fault. I went to art school for a year. One of my professors was asking a lot of the students what we really wanted to do. And I answered the question that I wanted to either make videos / movies. You know, I'm really interested in like film production and everything, or play video games for a living. I was playing a lot in college because that was the first time I really had, I could only play on the weekends when I was in high school. So this was like, which is terrible for me going off to college, is the fact that I could finally play every day. And of course my professor responded negatively to that and told me that it was not a viable option and there's just no way. And I think, it's written off as either you got really lucky or, you know, it's just, I don't think, again, I think it's a matter of the amount of work that I put into it. And I'm not saying like, oh, I really deserve this, but like, it's not just a fluke. I definitely put in, like I said, I've been making videos since 2010. So I mean, like, there's a resilience about me that kept going after it and kept trying, that eventually when something worked, I don't think it could be written off as like, oh, you just got lucky. You know what I mean? I think the fact that I kept going after it and kept trying it speaks volumes about like what you can do with a career like this. It's very similar to any sort of media or creative field, I think. It matters how much work that you as the artist or creator puts in. And no, playing video games I wouldn't consider an art, but like what I do with my videos and my personality and my streams, there's a lot of creativity that goes into that, and I think that there's a reason people prefer watching me over other people, and because of that there is a space for my creativity to kind of exist. I worked for a few years just doing here and there jobs, and then I actually worked for a couple of years as a graphic and web designer. While I was doing the graphic and web design, I was doing all this stuff on the side, stuff that I really like to do. And eventually it got to the point where I was making a good enough amount of money off of YouTube and streaming that I was able to step away from my job. That was in February of 2017. Yeah, there's really two ways that people look at it. Like, people that are parents or just people that are older than me often look at it as kind of like an illegitimate job, and they don't think that what I'm doing, when I say like I'm working, they might think like, oh, what is he really doing? He's playing video games. Go get a real job. I hear that a lot. Or when are you gonna get a real job? When are you gonna get a big boy job? That's my favorite thing. I think that's just silly. I think like if I'm making real money and it's a real job and what I'm doing is legitimate, I am able to support myself off of what I'm doing. So I think it's a little bit silly to, even my parents, they kind of questioned why I was spending so much time working on it. Because as I was working full time leading up to getting to do this, I would sleep probably 3 to 4 hours a night every night. I was putting about 40 hours a week into my YouTube and streaming and 40 hours a week into my job. People that see it just don't understand it. I think if they had more of an understanding of what really goes into it, and they might not feel the same way about it. And on the other hand, there's the people that watch my content and look up to me and think that I like have this great life and it's super luxurious and I have no worries in the world and all I do is play video games and make fun content. A lot of things go behind the scenes, and I'm not saying I have the worst job in the world, because I don't, obviously. I really enjoy what I do, but I work at least 60 hours every week, oftentimes up to 80 hours, just putting in the time. I have a lot going on that I do, and also if I want to keep being good at the game and I want to keep being a competitor, I have to put in time just playing, which is part of my job, just playing and trying to improve, making sure that my skills stay polished and that I can continue to play at a high level. That's important. One of the big appeals for the reason people like watching me is that I am good at the game. I don't just play, you know, I'm not just really funny or anything like that. That's not why people watch me. So I have to stay on top of my game while making content, while streaming, and just making sure I'm trying to, you know, be entertaining and mentally healthy. It's romanticized for a lot of people. A lot of people think it's the dream job. For me, it is my dream job, but a lot of people might not have, I don't want to say what it takes, but it might not be what a lot of people think it is. And I think if they had a little bit more of a taste of that, they might not like it as much, and they might not want to continue to pursue that. I mean, until I don't see it as a feasible career or like something that I can make, you know, a healthy amount of money off of, I will continue to do it for sure. And I think right now I'm on the verge of working on some projects I can't talk about right now, but that are really cool opportunities that could turn into really good revenue flow for me that could help me with my income. And because right now I wouldn't say I'm struggling to make ends meet, but I'm not really profiting anything off of what I'm doing right now. I'm breaking even every month, and you know, obviously I'd like to be doing better than that. I'd like to be able to be saving money, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to do that. I've never been more busy in my life. I've never worked harder on anything, and I've never had to spend so much time on something, but I have never enjoyed what I've done more. And I know that's like the, you know, do what you love, don't work. No, you definitely work. I think that's bullshit. I think like this is what I love, this is the job that I want, but I definitely work. And I think that a lot of people don't see that, and they think that I just wake up and play video games every day and it's all candy and donuts or whatever, but it's not. It's yeah, I put in a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes that people don't see. Late nights, editing, and just making stuff happen. And people only see the end product. They don't see what goes into it. But yeah, I definitely am very happy with it. I'm super, you know, excited to have this. And I think no matter what, even if I can only do this for another year or another 2 months, I think I'll look back on this later in life and just be happy that I had the opportunity to do it for the amount of time that I did. Even if it was only 8 months that I could be a full-time YouTuber and streamer, I think that like I could be happy with that, thinking, like, looking back. Even like the students that are like getting interviewed right now, like I didn't finish school, but like the fact that you guys are is awesome. It's a good step. It helps you with networking and everything. I just think like, I think about a lot that I had such a dream to be in the position that I am in, and that after it took 7 years to get here, like, dude, like, just, I don't want to be like, just don't give up, it's real cheesy, but like, if you work hard on something and you want it, don't quit. You can get there. I am like I can't believe I am in the position that I'm in, and I'm hoping to only get bigger, but like, it's the craziest thing, and I couldn't be happier. And I get emotional thinking about it, but like, just keep working on it. Like, don't quit. I seriously, that joke, that Shia LaBeouf just do it thing, that was actually a big motivator for me at some points when I wanted to quit. It was like, go home, make more videos, don't stop. It's as simple as just do it, and you can really get there.
That's beautiful. Don't look at the camera. I told you look at the monitor.
Look at me. Look at my pretty. Look at the monitor. Don't look at the monitor. Don't look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Don't look at the camera. You're never looking at the camera on this. Like,
so give me the monitor then. Like, what's the problem?
You're not gonna look at the monitor, no, because then you're gonna look at yourself.
Okay, Dad.
That's a beauty shot right there.
You're not gonna look at it.
That was a
Don't look
beauty
at it.
shot.